The following Best of Central Florida program is sponsored in part by Blackston Financial Advisory Group, Goldbar Training, Professionally Pretty, Nelson Financial Planning, Francesco's Ristorante and Pizzeria, Stumpy's Hatchet House, and Sophila Radio and Television Productions.
Welcome to the Best of Central Florida. No offense to the big box stores. You guys are just fine, but I like to shop local. I love family-owned businesses, and today we're going to visit some amazing family-owned businesses throughout Central Florida. What about you? Big box store, family-owned?
Family-owned for sure.
Why is that?
Why? Because I don't know. I love supporting local families.
I do too. And it feels like when you are shopping or dining local, you're not just supporting a business, you're supporting a family.
Yeah. And it's just different.
It's
in the best way possible.
And I love it when the owner comes out and you really get to know what's so funny.
If Justin ever comes to your place and you don't personally greet him, he gets offended. So please do that.
This is the like I demand red carpet treatment commentary, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that. I don't always demand it. Come on, you do. You're worse than I am.
No, I'm not.
But I'm excited about this show.
I'm
so excited to visit these amazing places we're going to visit today as we visit the best family-owned businesses in Central Florida as Best of Central Florida continues. Of course, your health is the most important, but maybe the second most important thing in your life is your financial health. Who do you turn to? Who can you trust? We trust our great friends at Blackston Financial Advisory Group. I have David and Kyle Blackston here. Welcome to the show, guys. How are you?
Honored to be here.
Trust is so important in your world, but why did you get into this?
Let me tell you a little quick story. My mom and dad, when they decided to retire, my dad was 62, my mom was 58. They didn't seek out a registered financial consultant, someone that's trained to get you through retirement. They just winged it on their own. Dad had a little bit of a pension, had Social Security, but he started at age 62, so he only got 70% of what happened. 4 years into retirement, my dad comes down with cancer and dies. My mom finds out there was no survivor's benefits on the pension. She got his Social Security, but it was only 70%. So for the next 17 years of her life, I watched her struggle. 14 years into Dad being passed, Mom had to sell a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house to move into a 1-bedroom apartment to live the rest of her life. When she passed away, the doctors told my youngest brother, said, your mom didn't have anything physically wrong with her, she just gave up. And it was all because she never got over the loss of her husband and the fact she struggled with income. So I made a commitment when my wife and I started this business 25 years ago that we would never let anybody go through what my mom did if they would just give us just in 45 minutes to make sure their plan was in place.
That 45 minutes, Kyle, is not intimidating. You're there to learn about your client, to treat them like family.
That's right, we are. You know, it's just gathering information, getting to know who they are and what they're trying to accomplish. I think that's so much more than trying to sell a product to anybody. And as a fiduciary, you have a wide range of products to offer them where some of the big box stores they see on TV are really forced to drive home certain products. That's not being a fiduciary. That's being out for themselves, you know?
That's true.
Excellent job, guys. Keep up the wonderful work.
Appreciate
Any questions about your finances? Blackston Financial Advisory Group.
The Best of Central Florida, Makaila's Choice, is sponsored in part by Goldbar Training, Professionally Pretty, and Sophila Radio and Television Productions.
Family is absolutely everything to me. So this choice was super simple. Makaila's choice for best family-owned business are my friends over at Goldbar. I'm joined by the founder, Juan Carlos. So happy to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm just very happy to be here, and I love the opportunity to just talk about what we do.
So real estate, very much booming in the state of Florida. What made you want to get into this industry?
So it all started with me wanting to become a doctor, and I actually went to college to study to become a surgeon. And I had this realization my junior year. I said to myself, do I really want to be doing this for the rest of my life? And it was at that moment I had an epiphany. I said to myself, you know what? Let me find out what I really want to do. And I actually opened up a book. It was called Rich Dad Poor Dad, and it explained the entire philosophy behind real estate. And that's what made me get into this. I wanted to help others really when it came to financial freedom, teach them how to acquire property, and that made me get into the business.
So how did you start your own business? I know you kind of went from selling real estate to starting Goldbar. How did that go?
So what ended up happening was my first 6 years as an agent, I basically had to build everything from scratch. I designed the systems, the infrastructure, and the technology I needed to go out there and scale my business. And in the process, I was actually training a lot of other agents on how to do the same. And then I realized, well, I have this really cool system. Why don't I go out there and teach others on how to do the exact same process? So over the last 3-4 years, I actually took agents from 0 to multiple 6 figures over and over and over again. And I said to myself, I'm onto something. So I said, let me start Goldbar. And what Goldbar is, it's an online education company. We provide training and coaching for agents all across the country. And it's very accessible and affordable for agents nationwide.
So let's say someone's watching this and they're considering, a career in real estate. Can they take the class, or do they have to already be an agent to take the class?
The best part is whether you're just getting interested in real estate, whether you haven't gotten a license as of yet, or you're an experienced veteran, we have classes and courses available for everyone.
How many different classes and courses do you have?
Right now we have over 5 courses, which encompass hundreds of videos, but the best part is we also do live coaching calls as well.
Nice.
So what ends up happening is any single time agents have questions, they could actually interact with the coaches on our platform instead of having to go elsewhere.
Wow, and do you have to be just in the state of Florida for this, or can you be anywhere?
You could be, honestly, anywhere in the country. Heck, we even have people in Canada, people all over Europe. It's really an interesting platform, yeah.
Oh, really, absolutely incredible. What does the future of real estate look like for you?
The future for me is I want to revolutionize the training industry as a whole. When I got started with coaching and training, I had to spend thousands of dollars a month just to get access to really high quality coaching. So I had a vision to make coaching accessible and affordable, and with our platform, we're really starting to do that.
There's so many different, courses, classes that people can take. Why should people choose Goldbar?
So with Goldbar, what makes us really different is we give you a roadmap or a blueprint to get to your goals. Instead of you just going online and consuming information or getting educated and now you're wandering around saying, well, what do I do? And now analysis paralysis takes place and you're not really doing anything. We give you the templates, the scripts, the presentations that you can model that we've used with our successful business. And now instead of going out there and just wandering around like a chicken with its head cut off, you could go out there, take action, and get results right away.
I love it. What do you find to be the most rewarding part of your job? Is like more of a coach instead of, selling real estate yourself?
I would say the most rewarding part of being a coach and just building this business is knowing that we have an impact on the lives of other agents and knowing that we can help them get to their goals faster. If I could go back in time and be my 23-year-old self and really just have access to the same platform we both now, I think I would have gotten to my goals way faster. And what we're doing is we're giving people certainty in their lives and their business.
So a class for everyone, regardless of where they are in the real estate market.
Exactly.
I love it. Well, Juan Carlos, absolutely amazing. Goldbar.
Good job.
If you're interested in, maybe starting a career in real estate, or you want to expand your knowledge, do yourself a favor and check out Goldbar. Thanks so much, Juan.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
We'll be right back with People's Choice after this short break. I am joined by 2 of my amazing friends. They are the owners. They are incredible boss ladies of Professionally Pretty, Allison and Jaisel. So happy to have y'all here.
Thanks for having us.
So maybe for someone watching, tell us a little bit about Professionally Pretty.
So Professionally Pretty is a full-service talent agency. We represent men, women, and children of all ages all across the U.S. For companies big and small. We have a lot of local companies that we book talent for, Publix, Home Depot, Spectrum, all the way to larger global clients like cruise lines, hotels, Starbucks, Chick-fil-A. We have a wide range of clients.
It's incredible. I mean,
some small things.
It's amazing. I mean, you're in the Central Florida area and you're booking these international, national projects, so to speak. Do you have any of your favorite projects that you want to share real quick?
There are a few projects that we're pretty excited about. We currently have 2 commercials slotted to air during the Super Bowl.
Wow.
So when you're watching the game and you see the M&M's commercial come on, look for our talent, and you'll also see them in the Remy Martin spot.
Wow. So tell me, what makes Professionally Pretty different from other, agencies, talent agencies, things of that nature?
Yeah, so Allison and I came from the talent side of the business. We probably have about 20 years combined of working as talent. So when we started the agency, we had the unique perspective of being able to see things from the talent's side and being able to advocate for them the way that they should be advocated for. We also have a very large talent roster, which gives us a ability to pair up a lot of different types of looks with the brands that people come to us looking for talent for their advertising and their marketing spots.
Connecting a client with the right, the right talent is absolutely incredible, and your expertise and your experience is superb. Do yourself a favor and check out our friends at Professionally Pretty for any of your service needs.
The Best of Central Florida, People's Choice, is sponsored in part by Nelson Financial Planning and Sophila Radio and Television Productions.
You have spoken, the people have spoken, and People's Choice for Best Family-Owned Business goes to our great buddy Joel Garris over at Nelson Financial Planning. Joel, how are you, sir? Welcome back. Good to see you.
Pleasure as always to be here.
I always know you're here when the microphone and the coffee mugs are here.
Exactly
I
right.
love it because you have a radio show on the weekends, a great show at that, keeping people informed.
Yeah, entering almost our 35th year on the radio show. That's one of the benefits of being family-owned is we're able to sort of do the show over different generations.
People see commercials for what I call the big box store sort of financial planning places versus a family-owned place such as yours. There is a big difference. And sometimes I get nervous with people who go to the big box store when it comes to financial planning. What are the differences?
So the biggest issue is that by being family-owned, we're allowed to be fully independent. So we don't have any mothership over us that says, oh, you've got to do things in a certain way. It gives us the flexibility to really find the best investments for our clients at the most reasonable cost.
I feel like at the big box store, they're getting pulled in certain directions on certain products because, let's be honest, those products are paying them more. Where you're getting pulled in the direction of trying to help your client as their fiduciary. You're trying to do the right thing for your client.
No, that's exactly right. And certainly with being family owned and having that trust and that family orientation, it really does help us be able to treat people as fiduciaries, but also to a large extent as an extension of our family.
I think a lot about financial planning, and we all should really, but when it comes to intergenerational planning, I mean, that's something that needs to be on your mind as someone, especially if you have a decent amount of wealth. Intergenerational planning, what does that mean exactly?
Sure, that's a topic that I think we're going to hear much more about in the years ahead, because Washington really has decided that looking at that wealth transfer from one generation to the next is a ripe opportunity to generate out tax revenue. And what happens in most cases is when people pass away, chances are the next generation is maybe in their 50s, 60s at those peak earning years. So just recognizing that there are ways to minimize that tax impact is one of those concepts that means that you don't just look at who's in front of you, but rather what the rest of the family looks like.
And why would we want to work so hard our whole lives just to give it back to the government when there are tools that you have at your disposal that can help me avoid that?
Yeah, that's why it's important to look beyond just who's in front of you, because certainly naming grandkids even as beneficiaries who might be in a lower tax bracket is one very simple strategy that might help to minimize taxes on that wealth transfer.
Let's say that I'm watching at home right now and I've worked at the same company for a while, have a big 401k, but they've just always taken care of it for me. I've never been to a financial planner such as yourself. What is that experience like?
So it really starts with sort of a getting to know you conversation. What you own, what you owe, money in, money out. And then from there we look for ways to really help to bring that whole picture together. We've got a team of folks at Nelson Financial Planning who ultimately have different areas of expertise, and that allows us to bring in people like a CPA or a National Social Security advisor to help make sure that that whole picture makes sense.
One-stop shop, really, for all of your financial needs. And when you have all of those working cohesively together, I can almost guarantee you, when you look in the future, you're going to have more money left for you and your family.
So important to be as efficient as possible, that's for sure.
I can't think of an industry other than financial planning that's more important to go with more of a family-owned environment as opposed to these big box shops that are really out for themselves at the end of the day.
Well, it certainly does allow us to give a better understanding about what family dynamic is all about, and that's important when it comes to money.
It is. I mean, money, it's health and then it's money really at the end of the day. What a pleasure, Joel. Keep up the good work.
Sounds good.
I think you have the longest running radio show, maybe at least.
We're up there.
Maybe when it comes to financial planning, at least. You do a great job. I love listening every weekend. Great advice. Awesome job. Visit Nelson Financial Planning right now. Joel always crushes it on the show. Stick around. Justin's Choice is up next.
The best of Central Florida, Justin's Choice, is sponsored in part by Francesco's Ristorante and Pizzeria, Stumpy's Hatchet House, and Sofila Radio and Television Productions.
And finally, this evening, it is time for my favorite portion of the program. It's time for Justin's Choice. And Justin's Choice for best family-owned business. And look, Makaila, you and I are both super excited about this. The smells in this room right now in the studio
barely take it.
are insane. Justin's Choice goes to our wonderful friends over at Francesco's Ristorante and Pizzeria. I'm so excited I can't talk. I can't. Chef Francesco is here, my brother. How are you? I love you. We love having you on this show.
It's my
kind of
pleasure.
cheating it a little bit because where did you have your birthday party?
At his restaurant.
Our producer Derek before the show said my wife is demanding lasagna from Francesco's. You're killing it, but you're killing it because of the family environment, the family food that you have, and just the amazing food. What's going on at Francesco's these days?
These days, it's going on that I'm super blessed to have all of you guys supported. I'm blessed having all my employees working very hard for Francesco's. And of course, like you're saying, I'm trying to keep the Italian tradition with the families. I do have a lot of employees working for me for many years. So what does it mean? Even if we're not blood related, when you work for so long, there's something people enjoying being a Francesco, and of course automatically they're becoming part of the family. So, and now the little plus that I have my son helping out finally, not in a full time, but as part of the team family that I always be looking forward for. So
when I walk in Francesco's, you have the open kitchen there. You're almost always there cooking. You're the real heartbeat of Francesco's, but I think you're not just one of our favorite restaurants, but I see your customers, like people that I know too, posting constantly about being there, posting your food, and it's that connection to you and the food that makes your customers so excited to promote you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, I mentioned my team, but also I was opening about this question. Also, my customer, like you were one of them, even coming every 2, 3, 4 times a week, they're kind of part of the family as well. They come in the kitchen, they hug the kids, and they're calling for some specific request, which they know they can do it. So, it's beautiful. A feeling and a dream come true, because that's when I left either to come to the United States. That's what I want to build. I don't want to build a regular restaurant.
I'm always blown away how you came here and you worked in other kitchens locally in other Italian restaurants, and you went out on a limb and started Francesco's, and you've made it really one of the most outstanding restaurants in all of Central Florida and beyond, but it took a lot of hard work.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, it's opening in a restaurant, it's never easy. Like I say, there is still sometimes 80, 90 hours a week. Now that, like I say, I'm blessed to have people helping me out in the kitchen in the front. So I mean, there's still a lot of hours, because I think to succeed, that's what you got to do it. You got to show your team what you need to be done to be successful.
And you can be tough on your staff, but I've also seen you bring them in like family, where a lot of restaurants over the last couple of years were unable to find any staff because they don't treat them well. You do treat your staff like family.
I do. I mean, if you mention, I think that's talk about also COVID. It was hard after the COVID getting a new employee or employee in general. I kept everybody employed. So for me, on a reopening, was easier to reopen the door. But like I said, I don't want to get all the compliment. I also had a big support from all of you, so it was easy as well to keep everybody employed. So,
Also a humble guy. Look, he's worked so hard. He's always there. Food is unbelievable. All right, quickly, we got to go through these here. You brought this, I think, for me.
Yes, I did.
What is this one?
Seafood risotto. The seafood risotto can be done in many combinations. And this one that you see over here is shrimp, clams, and mussels.
And this pizza is doesn't look like a pizza.
That's the one I wanted to creation. The idea with my team. That's a cola pizza stella, star pizza. So like you see, there's a shape, and they have a little mini calzone stuffed with ricotta, and we have the traditional in the middle with arugula, prosciutto, and shaved parmigiano, cherry tomatoes.
And the dessert's outstanding. I know you want to try the tiramisu, right?
I mean,
go ahead and get into it,
right.
because we promised a close-up of you having tiramisu. I promised our audience. There you go. Oh my gosh, Chef Francesco, as always, buddy, keep it up. We can't wait to come over there and see you soon. Do yourself a favor, right? You probably have already been to Francesco's. If you have not, now is the time to get there. I love it. And your next birthday party, where?
I mean, it's obviously always there.
We'll be at Francesco's. Makaila,
Yes.
Excellent job as always. Such a pleasure visiting the businesses owned by families, by real people. I love it.
Me too.
Thank you. Thank you so much to our crew here. One of them is demanding, his wife's demanding lasagna right now. Special thanks to you. We'll see you again next week for more Best of Central Florida. Here we are, Makaila and I, one of my favorite places in all of Central Florida. One of my favorite things to do is axe throwing. It's so much fun. I love it. There's only one place we go, though.
Yeah.
Obviously, Stumpy's Hatchet House. Its owners are here, Matthew, Estella. How are you guys?
Doing good.
Axe throwing in general. Some people have never tried it. Why should we?
Why not? I mean, it's a great time. We have a great place here, wonderful staff. We have a wonderful beer selection. It's just good times all around.
And this place feels unbelievably homey to me. It feels cozy. It feels like I'm transported into a cabin in North Carolina or Montana or something. How did you create this?
Well, it came with a lot of hard work, some busted fingers, and a lot of trial and error. Yeah. We a lot of the natural woodwork in here. Actually, all the natural woodwork was done by myself and one other person.
And a lot of people don't think about corporate events. They think corporate events. Oh, what restaurant am I going to rent out? What ballroom? What a great place to have a corporate event, a corporate meeting.
Yeah, it's we have TVs in here, so we do have ways that if you want to do a presentation of any kind, we can accommodate that. We have a PA system, so if you even want to do a tournament with a nice, let's get this thing going and rile up the crowd, you can. We even let it to where we have a free jukebox that you can come in, pick any music you like. It's great. You have a good
Jam
time.
out. If you haven't been axe throwing yet, come to Stumpy's Hatchet House right now, or if you have a meeting coming up, Stumpy's Hatchet House is a place for you.
The preceding Best of Central Florida program was sponsored in part by Blackstone Financial Advisory Group, Goldbar Training, Professionally Pretty, Nelson Financial Planning, Francesco's Ristorante and Pizzeria, Stumpy's Hatchet House, and Sofila Radio and Television Productions.